We've got 9, maybe more games left in the Eagles season. Who on the team, players, coaches, have the most to gain over the second half of the season? EJ Smith and I draft the answers next on the PHLY Eagles podcast. PHLY Eagles podcast on a Thursday afternoon, live from the Xfinity studio and presented by Bet365 and Ashley Bo Wulf, EJ Smith. We heard from Nick Sirianni earlier today. The Eagles will be back on the practice field, and we've got a lot to talk about ahead of the Monday Nighter against the Green Bay Packers. EJ Smith, how the hell are you?
I'm doing great. It feels like we're like about to get back into the swing of things. You know, bye week was fun, but I'm ready for some football. I'm ready to get back into the daily grind of the NFL season. You know, excited for it.
I mean, I could take or leave the grind.
Speak for yourself.
I mean, yeah, this is not a bar mitzvah here where everybody's trying to, 7th and 8th graders getting it going on the dance floor. This is I'm trying to live my life.
I enjoy the grind. Are you the type of person that like you don't know what day of the week it is because the Eagles play on Monday?
No.
I'm guilty of that. I have no idea. Like I have to check myself constantly what day of the week it is.
No, I have children in my house. We need to know what day of the week it is.
That is fair. We don't have those. We just have dogs. So.
And Julia now has a cat. Woo! Give it up for Julia and the whole Dr. Doolittle situation she's got going on in her house, adding all kinds of animals.
Bo is like a pet hater. He's trying to mask it. So he's not
I'm not
excited.
A pet hater. I don't
excited
need a
for
pet.
Julia.
I'm happy for Julia. Julia loves pets. I'm happy for Julia.
I'm happy just in general because, welcoming a new pet at home, that's amazing. You should be happy. You should just be happy, not just happy for her. That's like, I love that for you.
Well, no, but I mean, listen, I love Julia, but her having a cat does not materially affect my life.
I mean, maybe it does. Maybe she comes to work.
It makes her happy. Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
She's already pretty happy.
How are we? Famously, cats and dogs. Maybe not the best of friends. How are we feeling about? How's B feeling about this edition?
B is so excited. She's like just staring at her. Like we have a little like dog crate for the kitten. She's like 2 pounds, so she's so tiny. Mm-hmm. So we have to like keep her so we don't step on her. And then B's just like sitting right in front of the crate, just staring at her.
That is so cute.
Now, what was your pet situation as a child?
We had 2 cats, and they were great at first, and then they turned into little a-holes, and they lived for 20 and 21 years. So when I told my mom, she was like, "Oh, are you sure?"
Nice. Okay. And just so that people know, what's your pet situation?
My pet situation? You say it like it's so serious. We've got 2 dogs. We have 2. They're Rhodesian Ridgebacks. They're about 80 pounds. They're really
Some
good.
Big old honkers.
Yeah, but I wouldn't characterize them as that. But yeah, they are. I suppose. They're big. They're like big cats, though. They definitely have like cat energy. So.
Well, listen, you're wondering. Somebody is midway typing through a comment. They never talk about the Eagles on the show. Well, get to the football. Well, guess what? This has a lot to do with the Philadelphia Eagles. You know why? Because Nick Sirianni talked about his dog today.
Yeah.
What did he say?
He said that he has the coaches over during the bye week for basically a work day at his house.
Now, famously in the past, he has not served food to the coaches, and I did want to get this question in. Like, what was the food setup?
Yeah, did
this
he
time?
have some pizza?
Because in
for
the
him?
past, it's like you just threw out some chips. Like,
well, I think one time he mentioned that he mentioned the wrong pizza supplier.
That was a different time. That was in the office. He talked about ordering Pizza Hut.
It wasn't Little Caesars.
But Little Caesars was a sponsor of the Eagles, and they got very huffy about it. And he then had to really walk it back and be like, "Oh man, I sure do love Little Caesars."
That is like a great like mini conspiracy like in the Eagles realm.
Right. And you just know that when he says Pizza Hut, there's someone in charge of marketing with the Eagles who it has completely ruined their month.
Yeah. Yeah, like their version of, I don't know, can I name ours? Like their version of Nick? Like
Sure,
Nick's
yeah.
day would be ruined?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, anyway, Nick Sirianni.
And what did you make of the way that Nick Sirianni talked about his dog?
He said that his dog is one of those annoying dogs who will never leave you alone if you pet him once, which I'm pretty sure is most dogs. Like, I think most dogs are like that. And he's like, so yeah, that's when I learned. Like, you just
So
never.
I've learned
not to
him.
pet
Yeah.
him because he's just so needy. It's like, maybe the dog is for the kids in his house. I'll make some space for that.
Sure.
But yeah, it was a little bit. I mean, it's nice. Yeah, petting a dog isn't the worst thing. But he said that Kevin Patullo pet the dog, and that the dog recognized Kevin
The
Patullo
dog was at Patullo's
as
feet.
the mark.
Oh, yes.
So he laid at Patullo's feet the whole time.
All right. Well, let's
I guess we don't know if the dog was a he or a she. I shouldn't be attributing that to the dog.
Yeah, don't misgender that thing.
That's like one of my like I need to work on that. It's like a yellow flag of mine.
That you do it with pets or with people?
Yeah, I think it's like a learned behavior that like I always assume that a dog is a boy until otherwise. Maybe because we have boy dogs.
Okay.
I don't know. Got to work on it. I got to be better. Put my hand up on that one.
Maybe it's just that dogs are all dogs are dogs.
That's good. I actually like that. All dogs are dogs.
All right, let's get to the main purpose of today's episode. We want to discuss the people in the building who have the most on the line over the course of the second half of this season. This is going to be the inaugural Crakes on a Plane draft.
Ooh, did you come up with that this morning?
No, I came up with it 5 minutes ago.
I mean, okay. You could
10 minutes ago, to be precise.
Crakes on a plane?
Because the stakes, we're talking about the stakes of the season. And of course, crakes are birds.
I like that.
Crakes on a plane.
I like that.
And so let's start. I'm going to give you the first overall pick, EJ. But before you get there, the first overall pick, the person who has the most at stake over the second half of the season is The Big Deal, presented by Cherry Hill Jeep. Beep, beep. Who got the keys to my Jeep?
So you're giving me the first pick?
People at Cherry Hill. I'm going to give you the first pick.
That's very kind of you. I appreciate that.
I'm a very magnanimous
Are we doing
host.
like a snake draft so you get the next two?
No, this is just going to be a bounce back and forth.
Okay. Yeah, because I didn't really know if there's like a competitive.
This is more conversational.
Yeah, there's not crakes for us. There's just crakes for these draftees.
People, yes. Now,
I hope you see what I
to
did
be
there.
fair, I'm going to win. But
in the game with no rules and no
Yes.
no way of knowing if you actually win.
all right, you get the first pick.
All right, Jalen Carter is my first pick. He obviously.
I will just tell you off the bat, Jalen Carter was number 2 on my board.
Ooh, okay. I'm curious to see who number 1 on your board is then, but let me make the case for Jalen Carter as the number 1 overall pick here. He, in terms of actual money, like actual dollars and cents here, I think he probably has the most to gain or lose here because of the fact that we are probably talking about, as he nears extension eligibility, we are probably talking about the difference between a player that is making at the top of the market for defensive players compared to, and I hate to say this like it's reductive because it's not, but a player that is at the top of the defensive tackle position. And that,
Yeah.
I mean, that really is about $10 or $15 million a year that we're talking about here. So it's a significant amount of money. He obviously hasn't played necessarily at the level that we sort of expected him to ascend to. His production hasn't been there, and he's only got the 1 sack so far this season. So I think that it's there for him to kind of restake his claim as the difference maker, as the center of this defense. And if he does so, I think he does have the most money at stake here. So therefore, I think he was the rightful first pick in this draft.
If you are just simply measuring the most money on the line, I think you are correct.
Yeah, it's a CTC situation here as my
sure, but
former...
it's not necessarily percentages, which we can get to, and the impact on your life, which we can get to. But the Jalen Carter discussion is very interesting because you're right. And if we flash up like who are the highest paid defensive players in football, if Jalen Carter was having the kind of season that we thought he might have, where he was really in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year, then you would be thinking on the first day of the new league year, he was signing almost $40 million a year guaranteed.
Yeah,
something crazy
range.
like that,
Yeah.
right? And even if that's not the case, he remains the most important person on the defense.
Yeah.
He is their building block. They are going to make sure that he is here for a long time. To say nothing of like the production, he plays like every snap, all of those things. I wonder if there's like a small part of Howie Roseman that's like, it's not the worst thing in the world that he's not racking up sacks, because that's what's going to come down to
in terms of
in terms of how much he's going to end up having to pay him.
Oh, I agree. I mean, if you're Howie Roseman, it's like maybe he can be kind of a like. I mean, right now I think Jalen Carter, obviously he is recognized as an impact player still.
Yeah.
But I do think there is an element to it where it's like you have to watch the game. You have to watch the film to see his impact.
Yes.
And I do think that will have an influence on like the finances and what his value is league wide. So especially like you have to remember his agent's Drew Rosenhaus. So this isn't necessarily like, obviously like Howie and Drew like go back a long time. So it's not like they haven't had negotiations in the past. But I do think like the only thing I'd push back on is like, is there a world where if it is like top of the defensive tackle market instead of highest paid defensive players, which we're looking at here, type of a market for Jalen Carter, does he wait it out? Which is something you don't typically see Eagles players do. But if you're Drew Rosenhaus and Jalen Carter, if it was a down year this season, you probably do say, I'll take my chances in the final year of that rookie deal to then try and get to that Micah Parsons level.
I think the way that it's set up for him, it's almost like you have to take the best deal you can get, because if you don't get the best deal, then you're just playing on the fifth-year option, and then you're getting the franchise tag, and then by that time you're not going to get that monster deal, right? So I mean, the Eagles will make it worth his while, but yeah, I think I would be surprised if he doesn't become the highest-paid defensive tackle in football in March.
So what do you think it needs to look like? Like, let's
But I
put a number.
think like he has been disappointingly very good this year. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's true.
Right?
But like he has been like maybe a top 10 defensive tackle in football instead of a top 5.
Right.
I mean,
and I think we were hoping he was going to be transcendent this year.
Yeah. Here, I'm looking up. I know you don't like pressure numbers, but
don't do it.
No, I mean, he's 14th in pressures.
Okay, behind who? Sirianni's dog?
Well, I mean, that dog does sound like he's pretty. He's got relentless effort. I mean, Nick Sirianni should respect that. He should be like, this dog. He's got relentless effort.
Yeah, that's connection. That's one of the 5 core values.
Core values of not only the Eagles roster but the Sirianni household. So yeah,
attention to detail.
TDT.
Yeah,
the dog is a dog tough though.
Maybe not
detailed. Yes.
Detailed.
Together, yes.
Together, but maybe not tough.
Yeah, maybe not tough. Maybe that's why Nick Sirianni doesn't like the dog.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, he's 14th in pressures. I again, imperfect metric, but I do think
it doesn't mean he's
well,
17th in feathers. Like it's not a thing that it doesn't matter.
When you combine it with his sack production, it does leave him in like the middle of the road in terms of like that 10th or 12th best interior in pass rusher rather than the top 2, top 3 game record that we kind of expected. So, again, what would it have to look like?
So let me ask you I don't think the Eagles would ever do this, but the thought exercise.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Davis has taken a little bit of a leap. You've got Moro Ojimo. If you could get the Micah Parsons package for Jalen Carter, would you consider it?
It's a good question. Now, Jalen Carter is a younger player.
If I'm telling you, you can get 2 firsts
and a
average
something starter.
Yeah.
I probably still wouldn't. I probably would bank on the potential. It's an interesting conversation, but I think there's still a world for Jalen Carter to be the Aaron Donald heir apparent. I'm not saying that like it's a likely thing because we're talking about like one of the best players in a generation, but he has that ability.
I also think. Listen, they know much more about his work habits and all of that stuff and how committed he is. I mean, I think the fact that he plays 90% of the snaps tells you how they feel about that stuff. But if you're just thinking about who on this defense do I really want to commit to long term, defensive tackle is a position that ages better.
Yeah.
Guys have a more extended prime than guys in the secondary.
Yeah, that's a good point. What would it have to look like for you in the second half of the season let me put it this way. Let's say that you're hanging out with Nick Sirianni's dog, and the dog just won't leave you alone, and he knocks you over, and you hit your head on the back wall here, and then you wake up. What would it be?
I hope they're putting that dog down.
Oh, God. This is what I mean. You see what I'm saying? You see what I have to deal with?
Well, it's coming after humans.
This pet hater. Oh my God. We need to clip this
They're coming
and send
after
it
me.
and just blast it out. Cancel this man. So let's say you hit your head on the wall. You wake up at first day of the offseason, and the Eagles have announced that they signed Jalen Carter to a contract that, let's say that they give him $40 million a year, but maybe they guarantee the most money for a defensive player in NFL history. Let's say that that's the deal. What would you, when you were rushing to True Media to see what Jalen Carter must have done while you were asleep or in your coma state here, what would he have to have done for you to go, okay, I think that makes sense?
I mean, you could tell me he played 90% of the snaps and the Eagles made it to the Super Bowl. You could tell me, I think it is within his skill set to have 6 sacks over the next 9 games.
Yeah. But
Right?
is six enough? Is like 7 sacks on a season.
Career high. 6 is his previous career high. He's got 9 quarterback hits already. If he gets to 20-something quarterback hits, I think that would be fine.
Okay. I mean, it's in play. It's one wrecked game from him, and he's right back on track. So I think it's interesting, and I do think he has the most to gain because
Financially, but only if you're talking pure numbers of
yeah,
guarantees. Yeah.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
All right, that'll wrap it up for the big deal presented by Cherry Hill Jeep. With that, let's take a quick break to hear from some sponsors. On the other side, you'll get my first pick, the person who is number 1 on my board. If you're looking for a Jeep or Ram truck, there's only one dealership in South Jersey who has been the market leader since 1967. They were there when Jackson Hawes was born. Our friends at CherryHillJeep.com have you covered on the best selection, but more importantly, the best prices. Right now, take advantage of 0% for 60 months on 2025 Grand Cherokee 3-row or 0% for 72 months on the 2025 Ram 1500. Slide into a 2025 Jeep Wrangler this month for $289 a month. Every Wrangler delivers strong drivetrains, innovative engineering, and quality components that underpin this icon's legendary heritage. Stop in today, tell them PHLY sent you, and receive $1,000 off any new care and an additional $2,000 for any trade-in. I know people buy Jeeps and Ram trucks elsewhere. I just cannot fathom why. Drive home in your new Jeep or Ram truck today, just minutes from all bridges, or available online 24/7 at cherryhilljeep.com.
Next, let's talk about Bucci Jewelers. We all know the feeling. You walk into a jewelry store trying to pick out something for your partner, and suddenly you're in over your head. You're thinking, what's the difference between all these diamonds, or what if they don't like it? Yeah, it can be stressful. That's why working with Joe and Michelle at Bucci's Jewelry and Design has been such a game changer. These guys make the whole process seamless. From the minute you walk in, they treat you like family. They actually listen, help you figure out what they'll love, and then their team designs something completely custom right there in-house. No pressure, no pushy sales vibes, just good people who love what they do. And the end result, something you're proud to give and that they'll never forget. So next time you need that perfect piece, go see Joe and Michelle at Bucci Jewelry and Design. 30 plus years in the game, voted Philly's #1 jeweler year after year. Over 1,000 5-star reviews speaks for itself. Check them out today at BucciJewelers.com and tell them the guys at PHLY sent you.
All right, back on the PHLY Eagles podcast, the number 2 overall selection in the Cricks on a Plane draft. And listen, we're not talking money here. No matter what, Jalen Carter is going to get paid.
Yeah.
There is no one in the Eagles building who has a wider variance in their paths moving forward than Kevin Patullo. We know that this offense has all the talent that they need, according to Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie. No matter what happens in the second half of the season, they're not getting rid of the head coach. They're not getting rid of the quarterback. We have seen this play out before. There is a chance for Kevin Patullo to become a head coach next season.
Yeah.
There is also a chance for Kevin Patullo to be fired, and he's probably never an offensive coordinator again. And you live in the Brian Johnson obscurity, right? And so,
honestly, it's probably worse than that, right? I mean, Brian Johnson has landed on his feet. He is like a well-regarded
right, he's viewed
coach.
as Sirianni's lackey, and he becomes a wide receivers coach somewhere, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's just not. I don't think there's a soft landing for Kevin Patullo. Not to disparage him or anything.
No,
it's just the reality of he is not. Brian Johnson. At least
think he's a passing game coordinator somewhere.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but like Brian Johnson, I think is still going to get a bite at the apple at some point here. Like I think he was well regarded in league circles as like a rising star, and I think like Kevin Patullo, obviously, like he just isn't quite viewed the same way. I don't think so across the league. So I think there's honestly even more like of a variance here.
Yes,
for the way it could go for him.
And I mean, you've seen it play out in the market the way he was talked about the first quarter of the season. And now, coming off of what I think we all agree was his best game in terms of play calling and putting a game plan together against the Giants, there's a real possibility that we see this continue, and him getting the extra reps is meaningful, and this offense plays up to its talent, becomes a top 5 offense over the course of the second half of the season, and he is now in head coach conversations. And even if not, he is a trusted offensive coordinator next season, and he's in the mix moving forward. And so Kevin Patullo, in my mind, is absolutely the person who has the most riding on what happens here in the second half of the season.
He was high on my board as well because of a lot of the things you said. I think that it is just like the nature of this offensive coordinator job with the Eagles. I mean, Jalen Hurts talks about it all the time, that there's really only 2 ways it goes. You either get fired because the offense doesn't look good, or you get plucked because the offense looks good, and it is if you are the play caller for an offense that good, then you get head coaching opportunities. And it's like not lost on me, like as someone who listens to Kevin Patullo every week in a press conference. Allow me the analogy. Let's not get off the rails here, please.
No promises.
I'm so scared to say what I'm about to say. I could see him being similar to Jonathan Gannon in that he's good on the podium. He is a good communicator. And I do think that matters when owners are evaluating coordinators. And that would lead to him being a hot name in those types of conversations. I don't want to
I think he's good in the room.
Yeah, I don't want to compare him too much to Jonathan Gannon, but I do think like there was an argument when Jonathan Gannon was a defensive coordinator that he'd be a better head coach because of his communication style,
right,
and like his ability to kind of be the leader. And I think that sometimes like the coordinators on the podium, you do kind of, I don't want to say that they're like auditioning for that, but I think that they're aware that is a thing. And I also think it is a good window into how they communicate with a team. And I think Kevin Patullo does a really nice job with that. Right now, the play calling side of it is where he needs to improve. And if he does,
right, and so if
I
that
think he'll get
catches
interest
up to the other stuff,
yep,
sure.
Yeah.
Where would you put your turkeys on next season? Kevin Patullo as a head coach is still the Eagles' offensive coordinator and is not employed by the Eagles at all.
That is a good question. Oh man, this is tough. I would say I'm pretty confident. Maybe I'll regret saying this, but I'm pretty confident in the Eagles offense figuring this out and making some progress. So I'm going to say 40% head coach.
Interesting.
I feel like that's if I think that the Eagles offense is going to look good, then I'd have to be strong. I'd have to be putting a lot of stock into him becoming a head coach. I'm going to say, now I have to do the math. I would say 30% not like fired, honestly.
Okay.
And then 30%, I'll say 45 head coach, and I'll say 25. Is that right?
I don't know. You've said a lot of numbers.
I think 45% head coach, 30% not with the Eagles. I think that leaves me 25.
For still the Eagles.
Still with the Eagles offensive coordinator.
Interesting. I actually think the most likely
is that he's not back.
Is that he's still the offensive coordinator.
I don't think there's as many scenarios where that's the case.
I don't think that he's definitely getting a head coaching job.
Yeah,
I think there's
right now.
Listen, the Eagles saw the value of continuity with Shane Steichen. I think it might be nice for Jalen Hurts.
So the pathway for this is that the Eagles offense is
good.
Fine.
I've got at 65. He's still here. 20 fired, 15 head coach.
If they figure it out, I think he'll interview well, and I think he'll get a job. And if they don't figure it out, I think your guess here is that they won't figure it out entirely, but that they won't want to.
I just don't think he's guaranteed a head coaching job if the offense is good.
I feel more strongly that he'll get a job if the offense is as good as we think it'll be.
He's never had head coaching interviews before.
I think,
whereas like Kellen Moore had already been through that thing. Steichen was seen as a little bit more of like a play calling whiz.
Yeah, Steichen. Steichen's a good example, but I mean, I still think the most likely way that you're right is if the offense doesn't quite figure it out, but they don't want to turn over at offensive coordinator again. I think that's the one that maybe I undervalued there.
All right, let's get to your next pick.
Let's see. Now this is where like I want to stay true to the board rather than.
Got to.
I think there's a fun conversation that could dovetail into this, but I'll save it. I'm gonna go Nakobe Dean.
Okay, a little bit lower on my board, but okay.
Really? Okay. I feel like for Nakobe Dean, the difference between like being like the Kaiser White of this year's defense, where it's like
Kaiser Shuzzy.
The difference between being whatever that was, like, and just kind of being like a middle of the road linebacker that signs elsewhere to start, like the Jordan Hicks, if you will, or like being like viewed as like a top 15, top 20 linebacker in the NFL and being like at the top of that market. I do think that there's
like
a
him and
significance.
Quay Walker are the young linebackers who are scheduled to be free agents.
Right. So I think if he plays well and if he plays ahead of Jahad Campbell, we're talking about a guy who's going to command a lot on the open market.
And if he proves he can stay healthy?
I mean, yes, but I mean, Jordan Hicks, I guess Jordan Hicks didn't really command like a huge deal though. So you're right. But
And that was one injury for Jordan Hicks.
yeah, no, I still just think like if Nakobe has a really solid year, he's going to end up at the top
and I also
of that
think
market.
the signal to the league that he was playing over Jahad Campbell is enough to make it clear that he is a valuable person. I find, we've talked about it already, I find the little dynamic there and the dance that the Eagles are going to have to do with Nakobe Dean and Jahad Campbell to be fascinating. And there's a good chance that at some point it works itself out.
Yeah.
But, I think there are people in the building who really care about having Nakobe Dean on the field because of what it does for the rest of the defense.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. And for that reason, I think he won't be here. I don't think he'll be back with the Eagles. So he has a lot of money to make himself.
Yeah, the problem is this is unlike some of the other positions where they're going to have some interesting decisions to make in that Zach Bond and Jahad Campbell aren't going anywhere.
Right.
Like there's not really optionality there.
Yeah, it's not like they could, unless they just
you can't
completely
really pay
change.
Nakobe Dean.
Unless they completely change the way that they function on defense.
Or they just turn Jahad Campbell into an edge rusher, which I don't think they're going to do.
I mean, yeah, there's like how many turkeys would you put on that scenario where Nakobe's back and Jahad Campbell is just
2.
Andrew Van Ginkel? But even Andrew Van Ginkel, that's not really the role we're talking about here. Yeah, I'd say like 5.
Okay, so this is a pure open market value.
Yeah, I really valued like the amount of money that these guys could make. Again, CTC.
Some people care about a little bit more.
Got the green hoodie
what
on.
my role is, but okay, all cash. Okay, I'm gonna get. This is I can do kind of a. Maybe it's unfair to talk about two guys in concert with each other, but Jaelan Phillips to me is very interesting, and you want to talk about open market value. That matters a lot here to Jaelan Phillips. If he comes in and is an impact player on a defense that makes a deep playoff run, a former first-round pick in the prime of his career, theoretically, he's going to get a monster deal. I also think this is a really interesting one from the Eagles' perspective because it's like if he plays really well, he's definitely not coming back.
Right.
If he plays just okay, maybe there's like a 1-year deal kind of scenario.
Yeah, like if maybe the injury history scares guys off.
Like what happened with Chase Young, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if he just plays poorly, then he's probably not coming back anyway. And if he plays super well, then they're going to count on that third-round pick. But it's interesting in conjunction with Nolan Smith because just like Jalen Carter is eligible, the Eagles are going to have to make a decision on Nolan Smith whether to extend him, and if not, whether to pick up his 5th-year option this year. And if Jaelan Phillips comes in and is significantly better than Nolan Smith, or Nolan Smith gets hurt again, then I think you could make a case for the Eagles doing something this offseason that's more about keeping Jaelan Phillips here for the next few years and looking to trade Nolan Smith.
Yeah, that is an interesting framing. Like if you had to commit to one of the edge rushers in your room, one of the 2 of those guys, I guess Jalen Hunt is kind of a separate evaluation. Yeah, I could see a world where it's like, because Nolan Smith also has an injury history. So if you're, because I'm going to take a whiff here, like the Josh Sweat comparison that you kind of just maybe lobbed up to your other co-host, Brandon Graham.
He said he was tall. I said, who's the other tall guy you've had? Come on.
I'm just saying,
Check out the latest episode of Unblocked.
Yeah, and you got to make sure you listen to my spots with Cuz in the morning because we talked about how Jaelan Phillips reminded me of Josh Sweat. I'm not saying it's like the greatest.
Good for you.
let me make sure that because I can just see I can hear Fran typing furiously in the chat here. I'm not saying it was like the most like outlandish comparison.
They're
here.
also not that similar in terms of style.
No, stylistically, but just like profile of player and the way that like physical traits. But yeah, I do think like there's a world where you would say like you'd feel better about Jaelan Phillips over the next 3 or 4 years than Nolan Smith, given the way that this year has gone. And again, the Josh Sweat comparison, it's like the Eagles have had like an injury prone, or at least an edge rusher with an injury history in Josh Sweat in the past that they've been able to kind of work around.
I also do find this offseason will be fascinating from the Georgia guys standpoint.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we've kept this nucleus together. We really love what having all of these guys together in the building does for us. Like, nobody can keep Jalen Carter in check better than Nakobe.
Yeah.
All of these things. Well, this offseason, it kind of comes to a head because, it's probably a good chance Nakobe's gone. Maybe you're making other decisions. And then how does that affect like the dynamic with those guys in the building?
Yeah. And I think we'll probably discuss another one of the Georgia guys at some point.
All right. 2 rounds in, 2 pretty clear victories for me. That'll send us to break, and then we'll come back with the 5th pick in the first inaugural Crakes on a Plane draft.
It's a great name.
You know what else is a great name? Bet365. I wonder if they changed to Bet366 in leap years. You can still bet on those days. I know that's for sure. Bet365 has 90 million users worldwide in the live stream, over 780,000 events each year. And you know that that's accurate because it's such a precise number, 780,000. Why would they make that up? Early payout offers across the NBA and NHL. Bet365 pioneered live in-game betting, and today they offer the widest range of games and markets available for live in-game betting across 78 sports. It's a Thursday. You know what that means? Thursday night touchdown. That's when you can place qualifying parlay bets totaling $20 or more on tonight's game and get bonus bets for every touchdown. Terms and conditions apply. Download the app and use code PHLY365 when you sign up. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 or older and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
So the other day, Nick Sirianni's dog invites me over to watch some tape, do some
must have pet
self-scouting. And I didn't pet him. But yeah, he was pumped to watch the football. And his setup was a total mess. Lagging, buffering, switching between apps and trying to find the game. He claimed he was a big fan, but I feel like I had been fan-fished. See, if you call yourself a football fan, you have to have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination, and I can find the best games and my favorite teams all in one place. And the way that I watch, next level. It's the perfect fan flex, and I get to see all the action in my living room. Plus, Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K, so clear it feels like I'm at the stadium. Sometimes I've got 4 games going at once, because why not? On top of that, I get real-time notifications and live stats right on my TV. It's the best seat in the house every time. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box.
Back on the PHLY Eagles podcast, we are drafting the players in the NovaCare complex and coaches who have the most at stake over the second half of the season. We've had Jalen Carter. We've had Kevin Patullo. We've had Nakobe Dean. We've had Jaelan Phillips and Nolan Smith a little bit together. Who's next?
It's my turn to draft. Yeah, you're right, because you had Jaelan Phillips. I apologize.
Yeah, this is not a tough one to keep track of.
Maybe it's a bit at this point for me that I just can't keep track of the draft order. I'm torn here.
Nothing's like I'm torn.
I'm going to go. I'm going to take this one from you.
How I feel.
Tanner McKee.
Wide awake and I can see a perfect sky. Not even on my board. Wrote him down.
Really?
But I had just outside the top 12.
I think the Tanner McKee is an interesting one. I mean, it's a
good
fun,
one.
it's
Yeah,
a
if he
fun
gets in,
exercise.
absolutely.
But if he gets in,
the league already knows he's a top 10 quarterback.
no, because I was listening to, I mentioned CTC earlier. I was listening to a certain handsome podcast host who
Me?
best host in the city. I mean, you're not a bad looker yourself. You are my work wife after all, but
Thank you.
I mean, shout out to Honestly, no, I need to start naming him and groveling so that the Capadia ladies can stop being furious with me.
Sure.
So shout out to Sheil.
Okay.
Very handsome. I was
dad.
listening to yeah, absolutely. I was listening to his podcast this morning on my way in, and they're kind of like poo-pooing the idea of a Tanner McKee. It was him and Ben Solak. Solak said he's the leader of the Tanner McKee fan club, but then went on to basically say that the Browns, I mean, maybe it's a rational take. He said the Browns shouldn't accept the trade 2 firsts and Tanner McKee for Myles Garrett. I feel like that's the equivalent of 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, they should take that deal.
1 first and Tanner McKee.
Tanner McKee fan
Myles
club.
Garrett
I invented the guy.
Myles Garrett and Tanner McKee, or Myles Garrett for Tanner McKee straight up. Who says no?
The Browns.
I thought you'd be committed to the bit.
Yeah.
As a man,
I'm an honest man.
As a man who has once said that Darius Cooper is the greatest receiver in the NFL.
I never said that.
Yeah,
He's
more
the
or
third
less.
best receiver on the Eagles.
More or less. That's a good take. That one could come to roost for
It's
you.
not a take. It's the truth.
But yeah, if Tanner McKee gets into a game or 2,
Yeah, absolutely.
he could play himself into a starting opportunity somewhere else. And again, CTC, starting quarterback money.
No, that's absolutely right.
Yeah, I think he does have a lot at stake. So he's
That's
he's
true.
this is like a Bomani Jones pull here. He's got to be a stay ready all-star. He can't get ready. You got to stay ready.
Yeah. He's great. I'm coming from a position of everybody should already know that.
Yeah, but like they
I know.
don't. Yeah.
I know.
Let's hear who you have above Tanner McKee on your
Well,
board.
this is more about keeping a job. I think that you could do the little dance between the two of them, whether it's Jacorian Bennett or Keely Ringo. But I still think that Keely Ringo has a chance to play his way into keeping this job. And if he wards off even more competitors, then maybe he gets to be penciled in to be the starter again next year. I think it's probably unlikely.
Yeah.
So I think in stacking them, I have them a little bit too high. But I do think there's a really good chance that Keely Ringo is still the guy who gets the most snaps at outside corner after Quinyon Mitchell the rest of the season.
Yeah, it's
And I thought he played probably his best game against the Giants, which was not the most difficult assignment. But if you think corner is a confidence-based position, and maybe he's playing with a little bit more swag, I don't know.
It's an interesting one. I can't decide if I'm really trying to think. Like, if Keely Ringo played well for the next 2 months, would they go into the offseason saying Keely Ringo is the second outside corner for next season?
If he played well,
It's been such
I think they would bring in better competition. But
It just hasn't been a clean.
Yeah.
It hasn't been a clean
No,
year
no,
for
it
him
hasn't.
in a way where I think they probably still. He'd have to be really, really solid for the rest of the year. Like, it would have to be like,
Yeah.
new Keely Ringo got the haircut, and all of a sudden he's a new player. Like, so I just
Now, if it's Bennett, he also has another year left on his rookie deal, right?
Bennett, you could talk me more into. If Bennett came in and was just a absolutely like fine outside cornerback for the second half of the season, because he was injured and he got traded like mid training camp, and he had the onboarding process. I think you could talk me into that scenario where if Nick Sirianni's dog knocked me into the wall and I woke up and you told me like, no, the Eagles aren't going to draft a corner because Jacorian Bennett was really good in the second half of the season. I could see that. I think it would be hard for me, like in the same made up scenario, to feel confident about Keely Ringo given how the last few months have gone.
Okay. All right, I'm going to give you that one.
All right.
So it's 2-1.
Given these made up rules and
Yeah.
okay. We haven't done Jordan Davis. Is he on your board?
No.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, he is under
It's already
contract.
paid for. Yeah.
But is there a world where he plays lights out and like,
There's a world.
You have
I
a
don't know that it
conversation?
changes how much he's making too much.
that was my pick. I was just remarking that we hadn't done him.
Oh, you're playing the soft launch, and you want to get the discussion and then not be chided for the pick.
I soft launched Jordan Davis there. I'm going to go Christian Parker
He's on my list.
because I do think, you obviously, had your full-chested Christian Parker appreciation for your bold predictions. And I do think it's still in play. We should say, I know most of the Sickos probably know who he is. He's the Eagles defensive backs coach. So I think if this secondary starts to take shape, and especially if there's some creative combinations, and they got Jair Alexander in 1 week, they got Cooper DeJean playing all these different spots, I do think that there could be some buzz for him toward the end of the season, as like the guy in charge of the secondary that figured it out midseason. So
I think that's absolutely right.
And I do think that he is another. I mean, I probably would put him. I mean, Patullo has like such a clear path to a head coaching opportunity, but I think he's one of the more impressive coaches on staff. So I think he has a chance at that too. I know he has aspirations for that. So he does have a lot at stake. It's not the range isn't as great as a Kevin Patullo. Like, you know, if the
I think because he's not losing his job.
Yeah, if the secondary doesn't figure it out, you'd still feel like Christian Parker is one of the better position coaches in the NFL. But because of what he has to gain, I do think in the middle rounds here, I think he's a good value.
It's a good pick. And you could argue that maybe the Eagles' willingness to add more guys in the secondary is partly because they believe that Christian Parker can get those guys up to speed.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, he's got the experience with Jair Alexander, and Joe Casper has Michael Carter. But yeah, I think that's absolutely right. If we wake up in week 16 and Jair Alexander is starting on the outside and playing well,
yeah, that is like the Christian Parker,
right? Or if it turns out that Goedert Jean's on the outside and Michael Carter is playing well, it's like, man, thank goodness for Christian Parker getting these guys up to speed.
Yeah. And maybe it is a DC job, like he takes the Denard Wilson route, but I do think, he's a young guy, and he's another one that I think
you're thinking he could go straight?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I
think it'll be DC. But he's a young guy, and I think that he's another one where, like, when you hear him talk about the game, like you hear him in these settings, like, I know.
I agree with that.
I'm not trying to overstate like how a guy is with the media makes him a head coach material. I'm just saying like it's part of the equation. I think that he would be somebody that would become like one of the hotter names in the coaching circles.
Julia wants you to know that she has gone with Christian Barker.
Ooh, that's really good. I know I shouldn't mention this brand because they don't sponsor us.
Right.
Yeah. Never mind.
No free ads, but what? Well, just say what you were going to say.
Have you ever heard? Well, you wouldn't have heard of this. Julia, have you heard of Big Barker? They're like little boxes.
The dog beds.
How do you? No. Wait, is that? Oh yeah, that is it. I was thinking of Bark Box is what I was thinking. My dogs do sleep on Big Barkers though.
No free ads.
Well, let's take the brand name out of it. Make sure your dogs are sleeping on some good supportive beds. That's all I'll say. One of our guys, he's old now. He's got creaky joints. You need to make sure you're taking care of him.
Okay.
You hate pets. This is terrible.
Just saying.
It's like
take care of yourself.
It's a rare red flag from you. Take care of yourself. It's a rare Bo Wulf red flag that you just like hate animals.
I don't hate them.
Could have fooled me.
It's not. I don't need to have one. That's all.
You seem like you'd be a cat guy.
What?
But
what on earth would make you think that?
I don't know. You don't seem just like you're kind of anti-pet. You don't seem like you'd want like a high maintenance animal in your house,
right?
And cats are lower maintenance. Like people say, they're like roommates.
Yeah, I have roommates.
You don't have roommates. I mean, you're raising children.
Children.
Yeah, they're not roommates. They're high maintenance. They're higher maintenance than dogs.
Yeah.
I always offend my sister because like her kids are similar ages to my dogs. And I'll always like make the false equivalency.
That's an outrageous equivalency for you to make.
I mean, it is and it isn't. Like they are like
is.
They have childlike tendencies.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to help them. Yeah, sometimes you got to clean up after them. They have their rebellious phases.
Yeah, you want to talk about stakes? Like the stakes are much lower.
I mean, says the guy who just said that Nick Sirianni. No, he shouldn't say that. Said the guy who just suggested that a dog should be put down for knocking you over.
And if a dog's coming after kids, then yeah,
it's real stakes. You're not a kid.
I am in my head.
No, man. You've never met my dogs either. You'd like them. They're good. They're good
I'm
dogs.
sure I would.
Yeah. The younger one is like Nick Sirianni's dog. If you pet him, you're in for a long day.
It's fine.
No, I mean, yeah, like I'm not like I like to pet my dog, so I don't really have a problem with that.
Okay. I mean, we got to talk about the quarterback. And I know it's not like he's going to lose his job, but if you just think about the standing, if Jalen Hurts, takes his team to the Super Bowl again, there's no denying on the national platforms that he is an elite quarterback. He probably gets another extension, right? Because he's 2 years removed now, and he is the most important person in the franchise. If things blow up with A.J. Brown and the Eagles are forced to move on from A.J. Brown because this thing couldn't come together, then that is a mark against him, right? Yeah. And it not only affects how he's viewed as a player, but potentially in the locker room, because I'm sure that there are some people who will think it was his fault or whatever it was, right? So, I mean, the most important player, the most important person in Philadelphia sports has a lot to gain and a lot to lose.
He has a lot to gain. I don't know if I feel like he has as much to lose, but I do think the more things in Jalen Hurts' career that validate his Michael Jordan cosplay, the better. Like, the more because he's always, and I think, like, if he becomes, like, because, again, like, you think, like, if this team wins the Super Bowl back-to-back years, like, the way that he's carried himself since he arrived in Philadelphia becomes so much more of, like, the lore, the legacy that is Jalen Hurts. Like, you know, it becomes, like, he always carried himself that way, and then we should have known he was destined for great things.
He knew before they knew.
Exactly. So it's almost like the like, what is it? Like, the victor writes the story, you know, the winner writes the story. Like, I think that is in play for him here. You know, it's funny, like, you know, not to wax poetic about how much I enjoy the podcast, but, like, we have so many good conversations with so many very smart people on this show. And, like, ever since Day Niz mentioned, like, the urgency of, like, being the defending champions and, like, the opportunity to do that back-to-back years and what that does for you in terms of, like, historic significance, I just, like, haven't been able to forget about that. You know, it's like, it's been really a big part of how I look at this season. And for Jalen, like, to become a back-to-back champion, it would really, like, reinforce a lot of who he is in a way that I think would be really meaningful. So I agree. He was on my list. I wasn't, I mean, again, wearing the green hoodie, this was about money for me more than anything. But in terms of legacy, which I guess
but you could also argue in money. I mean, if he gets a new mega deal, that's a lot of cheddar.
No, you're absolutely right. So I think he's a really good one. I think he should be high up on the list.
3-1 as we head into our final break to hear from some sponsors. Coming back to close this bad boy out on the other side. Monarch Money is built for people with busy lives. If you've put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. At Monarch, they promise you will never need to touch a spreadsheet again. Don't leave money on the table. When you're making good money, it's easy to get complacent. If you're not on top of your money, you could be missing chances to save more, invest smarter, or hit your financial goals faster. Named the best budgeting app of 2025 by the Wall Street Journal, and Forbes' best app for couples, is also named CNBC's top fintech companies in the world. Monarch isn't just another finance app. It's a tool real professionals and experts actually love. No more guessing, no more hiding, no more, I didn't realize how much money we spent. No. With Monarch, you get it all taken care of. Don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use code PHLY at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code PHLY.
Next, we want to thank you for being a part of the PHLY community. We're always looking to improve our shows and better understand how you listen and what you value most. That's why we've launched a quick survey. Your feedback helps us shape the content you love and make it even better. It only takes a few minutes, but it makes a big impact. Take a moment, head to allphly.com/survey and let your voice be heard. Respondents have a chance to win a $100 Amazon gift card. We appreciate you.
Back on the PHLY Eagles podcast. By the way, I imagine that anybody who's watching the show starts their morning in a similar way that I do, and that's by checking out Handsome Rich's PHLY newsletter.
Absolutely.
Best in the city. Just want to make sure that if you are not doing it, that you know about it. The PHLY Sports Daily. Allphly.com/newsletter to sign up. This is free, people. I'm not even asking you for money. It's free. It's the best.
It's one of my first things I do on my phone. You know, I've been trying to be mindful of my social media usage since the bye week. So
good,
now
healthy.
I'm thinking, like, you know what? Just read Rich's newsletter first. Don't go to the apps.
There you go. And if you're going to be in the Philadelphia area around about Thanksgiving or so, come check us out. The PHLY Live Day at the Reading Terminal Market on November 26th. That's the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. One of my favorite days of the year. A lot of fun to meet people. We're all doing the show together. It's a lot of fun. And, of course, we love Reading Terminal.
I do love Reading Terminal. It has a special place in my heart.
Why? No, it seems like there's a story here.
There is, but I'm not going to tell the story. I can't. No, it's not a good story.
What do you mean?
It's not a story. Yeah, I promise. I'm an open book on the show. I'm not like my predecessor. We've spent a lot of time there. That's what I would say. My family and I have spent a lot of time at Reading Terminal Market.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I'm excited. When you say that that's one of your favorite days, is it because you love Thanksgiving?
It's not because I love Thanksgiving, but I do love Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You're coming at me for dogs, and you're going to be here saying you hate Thanksgiving?
I like Thanksgiving.
Oh, my God.
It doesn't hold a candle to the true holiday season, in my opinion.
Which is what, National Pets Day?
No, I mean, I celebrate Christmas. The holiday season in general, though. Like, it doesn't have to just be Christmas. That December 20th
Chat,
to
boo this man.
January
Boo him.
4th.
You don't have to choose between the two of them. You can still.
I'm not saying you choose.
Also, Thanksgiving is kind of like the beginning of the holiday season.
But it's fine. And I think
It's
the biggest
fine,
thing,
he says.
the two things about Thanksgiving for me, I don't love the food. It's just,
Tracer, I also had the same thought about EJ, but
wait, where is this?
as to why you have such an affinity for Reading Terminal, has this special place in your heart. But
This has been a real topic all week. There's a fascination with me that I was not expecting.
Inside and outside the studio.
The Power Bottom chat made it into a few of my group chats.
Nice.
And yeah, it's been tough. They clipped it. It's been circulated.
It's good.
I
mean, much more. I cannot believe you're saying you hate Thanksgiving.
I don't hate Thanksgiving. Here's the thing.
You went out of your way to be like, so you like Thanksgiving, huh?
I think that there is a superior holiday season that is above Thanksgiving. I don't love the food for Thanksgiving. There's nothing on the Thanksgiving table that is like, other than like not the mashed potatoes, the sweet potatoes with the marshmallow on top.
Okay.
That's a strong one. But the rest of it, it's fine. It's just fine. And
you're allowed to make something you like too.
oh, I will. I'll smoke a turkey, and I enjoy that. It's fun.
I get you real high.
And then the other part of it is, like, I understand, like, not everybody spends a lot of time with their family, and I understand that. But for me personally, I see a lot of my family. So for me, it's like a dinner with my family with food I don't like.
Wow.
It's like I see you guys a good amount, and we usually have better meals than this.
What a take.
The Christmas season, the holiday season, superior in my opinion. It's like the most like warm, like genial time of year. Everybody is so happy.
The argument is not Thanksgiving is better than Christmas.
Yeah, well, that's my argument.
The idea
my
is
argument
Thanksgiving is good.
My argument is that Christmas is better than Thanksgiving. I would put Easter over Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I like Easter. I like an Easter.
Okay.
I like a peep, as we talked about before.
Yeah, I bet you do.
Julia, were you team peep?
I like stale peeps.
Oh, yes. A stale peep. I like a lot of stale foods, actually. Yeah. Have you ever had my Julia? We'll call this.
Are you a dog?
There's a certain. There's like. I couldn't laugh today. I had the cough. I knew I couldn't. I had to keep it under control today. And here you are asking me if I'm a dog. I mean, all men are dogs, right? All men are dogs. There's a certain, like, if it gets like a little stale, it has like a texture to it that's really satisfying.
There's some things like that.
Like a graham cracker,
Okay.
an Oreo.
How many graham crackers are you eating as a 30-plus-year-old man?
We always have graham crackers in the house because we make s'mores. So, and they get stale, and they're better that way. S'mores, fact for you here. We're way off the rails, so I'm just going to keep going. Reese's s'more. Oh, my God. Amazing.
What do you throw a Reese's cup.
Yeah, Reese's
with
cup. No, you take
That replaces
substitute the
the
Hershey.
Okay.
Yeah,
That sounds good.
it's amazing. They're worse for you. Like,
Well,
I think you can like.
so are a lot of delicious things.
I think you can like. I think you can. You can probably have like 2 or 3 like regular s'mores and feel pretty good about it. But a Reese's s'more, like, you can't have that many. But very good. But yeah, Oreos are way better stale. Like, not like totally stale, but just like a little stale. Like, who needs like the crisp of an Oreo?
Okay.
You don't need that. So yeah, I like it.
So far you've mostly just talked about like
sweets,
treats, candy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like stale bread. Like, nobody's going in for that.
Turn into croutons if you want.
Ooh, homemade croutons, very strong.
Okay. Mr. Stale over here. Maybe you should try having your Thanksgiving dinner a week later.
A stale Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think any of those foods would improve with extra air exposure. Other than, I mean, like, you get the turkey skin nice and dry. Yeah.
All right, the number 9 overall selection in the inaugural Craigs on a Plane draft, as EJ tries to catch up to my
Is it you or me?
potentially insurmountable lead, it's you.
Oh man. You took well, we haven't talked about Reed Blankenship yet.
Okay.
So I think that's really one of the last ones on my list here.
You even got a graphic for this one.
Yeah, we have the highest paid safeties in the league. I'm not saying that Reed is like going to be like top of the market safety, but honestly, if he's available in free agency, he's been very solid for the Eagles. Vic Fangio has been complimentary of him. So again, like Kyle Hamilton at the top here, you probably throw him out.
Yeah, I would say so.
Well, I'm just saying, like, that's probably more of a conversation for Cooper to Gene, actually. But from there, like that $20 million a year range, I think that is a ceiling for Reed here. And I don't know if he has like something to prove over the next 2 months, but I do think, like, as someone who is coming up on a free agency here, I did want to make sure we included him.
It's a good one, and I would argue that while he has a lot at stake, his standing with the Eagles is actually more affected by how Andrew Nakobe plays than by how he plays.
Yeah, because you feel better about
if Nakobe comes on in the second half, then you feel better about being able to replace Reed Blankenship, where if it looks like he's still swimming a little bit, maybe you feel like you do have to commit to bringing back Reed on something like a 2 years of good guaranteed money. Yeah,
that is a good point I hadn't considered, is that like the Nakobe roller coaster could be like a good negotiating chip for Reed Blankenship there.
Right, and also the
Sidney
fact
Brown.
that Sidney Brown does not seem to be in Vic's good graces.
What do you think Howie Roseman would have traded Sidney Brown for before the deadline?
A 6th-round pick.
You think it was actually a 6th?
I think he probably would have taken a 7th.
I mean, with how they've used those late round picks to get like useful players, well, semi-useful, we'll see. The jury's out. But like players,
I think what he would have liked to do
roster.
would have been trading him for a player.
Yeah. What do you think he would have taken for Nakobe Dean?
I don't think he would have traded Nakobe Dean.
Yeah, because there's probably not somebody who would offer you a lot.
Yeah.
But if somebody called you and offered you like a 4 for Nakobe Dean,
I think they want to keep the players who are going to help them win a Super Bowl, and I think Nakobe Dean can help them win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that is fair.
All right, I will give you my next pick in overtime. I mean, AJ Brown.
He was on my list.
He's got a lot at stake.
He doesn't though. Like, because you could see. I'm going to show you my crude big board here.
Yeah.
I have the question mark next to it. Because it's like, yeah, if he doesn't, I mean, what are you saying? He doesn't play well, he's gone?
No, it's not.
If he plays well, he could be gone.
Correct. I think this is less about him being here and more about him getting what he wants. And if the second half plays out the way the first half plays out, and there's more conversations about, like, is this a guy that you would want around? Is he going to be too much of a distraction? That is probably counterproductive to the things that he wants.
To me, it's like, if AJ were like desperate to stay, if we knew that AJ was desperate to stay and the Eagles were the ones that the jury was still out on, I would feel like, yeah, there's stakes there. But because of how like nebulous this whole thing has become, it's hard to know like what AJ. I mean, that we literally spend so much time. Like, what does AJ want? Like, for me, it's hard to like attribute
what AJ
stakes.
Wants, what AJ needs, what AJ happy to set him free.
Julia's harmonies are strong back there.
You for throwing it to Devontae.
But you know what? You know what's funny about Julia like harmonizing? It's like I can hear it and it sounds good, but you know how like you'll sing in the car and you think you're like nailing it, and like then like if the music like cuts out, it's like ooh, that's you to the audience right now.
No. I believe me, I never think I'm nailing it. I also have ears.
Like I'm gonna listen back to this on the car ride home, and I'm gonna be like, oh yeah.
The only song that I feel like I sing well is "Oh Canada."
That is so
It's
random.
it's a good shower song. My two shower songs are "Oh Canada" and "Do You Hear the People Sing."
So why are you singing Oh Canada?
It's a great song.
Just love you some Canada?
It's a good song.
Yeah. I mean it's fine.
I mean,
can't
listen. No shade to America. It's a far superior song to the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, is there Willie Lampkin news? Eagles practice in 10 minutes. So, ooh,
Activated
the
his
Eagles
window?
opened the practice window for Willie Lampkin.
Ooh, the Lampkin is always full.
The lamp is never. No,
It's
it's
never
never
full.
full. Yeah, the Lampkin is never full. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Third wide receiver.
So here's my question for you. Would you argue that Devontae has more at stake than A.J. Brown? Because if you think that there's a possibility that they do end up moving A.J. Brown, is it Devontae who stands to benefit and he can prove in the second half of the season that he can be a bona fide number one receiver?
It's interesting. I think if they were to trade A.J. Brown in the offseason, I know there are people who are watching right now are like, I thought we were done with this conversation.
Yeah.
We're really, I mean, it's never going to end. It's not going to end until the offseason at this point. Well, it will start in the offseason again. But I think if you were looking on the market for a receiver to complement Devontae Smith, you're going to be hard-pressed to find one better than him anyway. So it's not like he has to prove he's a number one. Like,
Yeah.
he will be the number one almost by default.
Well, sure.
I mean, unless it's like Jamar Chase or something like that, which
no, you're right. That is what would happen. But I don't know. Maybe he gets a new deal. I don't know.
Can we do a package deal whenever we talk about the potential for A.J. Brown to get traded in the offseason? Can we also talk about the potential for the Eagles to trade for Myles Garrett in the offseason? Like,
Sure.
balance it out?
Sure.
It feels like it'll happen.
You think it will happen? I don't.
I'd put it at 40 turkeys.
That's an outrageous amount of turkeys.
Well,
Outrageous.
this will be just like Moro Ajomo 2.0.
Oh my god!
We'll roll the clip.
This is you gotta put some real hooch down on this then, because that is an asinine amount of turkeys.
Asinine.
Yes.
Listen, I think
You think there's a 40 turkey chance
What
that
do
the Eagles trade for Myles Garrett?
it's really just a question of will Myles Garrett become available?
No, it's not,
I think the
because
Eagles.
the rest of the league also gets a chance to trade for him in that case.
I think the Eagles would be the most aggressive to get him.
I don't know. That is a crazy percentage chance. 40?
I want to plant my flag on it. This is
That's
like
ridiculous.
This is my this is Moro Ajomo 2.0. Be strong on it. Be an early adopter, and then
Outrageous.
if it doesn't happen, we delete the footage. It's 65 minutes into the pod. nobody's gonna be like, oh, EJ, remember when you said that? That was my best Shady Ray impersonation. Oh, EJ, you remember when you said that? Nobody's gonna remember that. But if it's right, I ask Julia to roll the clip in a few months, and I get to take the
But
credit.
even then, you didn't think it was going to happen. You still went 150%, so you can't say
Yeah,
that
but
you
your
actually predicted it was
outrage
going to
just
happen.
made it for me.
Nah.
Because
You
that-
still don't get to take credit because
it
you did.
con-
Unless you say 51, you can't take credit.
No, I can because I said 40,
And
then
you were proven incorrect.
You contextualized how crazy it is for me to be such an early adopter
Yeah.
here. I feel great about it.
Okay. I'm going to give you that last round. So I win 3-2. Good first edition of Craig's on a Plane.
Craig's on a Plane is one of your better ones. I really like that.
Who else was on your list if you want to do any quick hits?
Let's see. Do I have any honorable mentions?
I think Dallas Goedert is like the other,
Dallas
pending
Goedert,
free agent.
yeah, it's funny.
But I actually don't think that his value changes too much based on what he does the second half of the season.
Especially at a very strong first half of the season. That's why I didn't. That's why I skipped over him.
He's still going to be viewed as a good player who gets injured sometimes.
Yeah.
And the Eagles still don't have a replacement plan for him, so I don't know that his future changes too much.
Yeah, I agree. Those are the. I mean, Nolan Smith was on my list as well, but you obviously hit on him. So
I have Cooper DeJean on here as well. Just if it does happen that he moves to the outside
corner.
and he still looks like a superstar, that probably changes the trajectory of his financial outlook.
Yeah, I think he's going to make a lot of money regardless.
I agree.
So yeah,
Okay.
it was good.
What else you got?
I feel like I did have something to tell you. No, I think it was the power bottom circulating in the text threads.
Must have been. Okay. I feel like I just feel like this was too much football today.
We talked about dogs. We talked about
You
Thanksgiving.
hating Thanksgiving? Yeah.
Honestly, if you want to say I hate Thanksgiving, like that,
are there any
that's
super
fine.
chats?
That is fine.
No super chats. Oh,
Labrador
okay.
Jackson, Zach Bone,
Labrador Jackson. I just
Jackson,
Labrador
Paws.
Jackson. Zach Bone is good, but yes, LB908 has a much better one, which is that Fran would name his dog Jackson Paws.
Jackson Paws is a good one.
Jackson Paws is good.
You want to hear my dog's Brazilian nicknames?
I sure do.
So,
Tell me their real names.
You won't understand this at all because you don't have a pet. Julia will get.
Tell me
this.
their real names first.
You'll never get it. But yeah, our oldest dog is Maddox.
Named after Avante or Greg?
When the Eagles drafted Avante, it was like a big moment in my house. This is before I covered the team because it's like.
Is it spelled like Avante or spelled like
exactly
Greg?
like Avante.
Okay.
I had a friend who went to school with, Gary Maddox. I had a friend who went to school with Gary Maddox.
Okay. And then the other one?
Pharaoh. It's like the Faroe
Pharaoh.
Islands. We didn't name him, but it's cool name.
Okay. So
That's
I'm
not how you
going
spell
with
No, you'll never get it.
Doxinho.
You'll get Pharaoh.
And-
Maddox, I have to give you a backstory.
I
And
got
again,
Farinho.
Julia will understand this. You won't. Your dog's names evolve over time, and then their name is like unrecognizable from the original name, like because they get nicknames. And I don't really know how it happened, but Maddox has become Padina. So
Okay.
I have no idea where it came from. But like, it's
Say it one more time.
Padina. What?
What are you going to do with this thing? Put it in you.
No, that was a stretch. Boo. Off the stage. That's what my niece says. Does your daughter say that? Off the stage?
We got Julia.
Does your daughter say off the stage?
No.
My niece, she'll give you an off the stage.
Okay.
So yeah, he's Padina. You could get Pharaoh's.
Put it in
Brazilian.
you.
No, it's not. That's like such a stretch. That's not good.
It's not that much of a stretch.
It's kind of a stretch.
Okay. There's no, you can't give us the evolution of how it got there?
I don't know how it got there. His two nicknames are Padina and then Big P. Oh my
Big
God.
P.
It's a good
I
nickname.
mean, come on.
Big P, yeah.
What's his other one? Shaft?
We didn't think about it like that. But no. Big
Okay.
P. And then Pharaoh's is more straightforward.
Farinha.
Pharaoh-binho.
Robinho.
It's good. Yeah.
Okay.
You would like Pharaoh. He's you
call him
like
the
both
Big
of them. Big P. Big P is a little bit more like grumpy. He's old, and he just doesn't have time for a lot of things. He's the guard dog.
Limp P.
No, I would not say that. But Pharaoh's like his tail wags so much that his like tail is like really strong. Like if it hits you, it will hurt. Like not to. No, I can't make this. I can't say this now because your head is already in the gutter. But yeah, you would like Pharaoh. Pharaoh-binho.
And this is outrageous.
Big P? I don't think, if his name was Big D, it would be weird.
I mean, it's not that much different.
No, it is different.
Is it?
Maybe it's not.
Musa with a super chat says Big P energy.
Big P energy.
Yeah. Wow, this was very helpful. Starting to like dogs even more. All right. That'll do it for this episode of the PHLY Eagles podcast, the big PHLY Eagles podcast. We will be with you tomorrow at 2 o'clock. The big one. This is going to be a long one. Settle in. Big game preview. A four-hander. A foursome. With EJ, the Duff
show
Man,
is raunchy.
and the Professor. We'll have Swooper. We'll get into the weeds on the Green Bay Packers and this matchup. And we'll have news from what's going on at the NovaCare complex. So set your alarms. Nice, you get a nice 72 hours to listen and watch that bad boy. It's going to be great. Looking forward to it. We will talk to you then. And as always, we love you.
We all silly like the mayor.